Listen to me, 2025 is the year you stop playing small. It's the year you step out of the shadows of doubt and fear and into the light of who you are truly meant to be. Some people will look at you and they won't understand why you've disappeared, why you've pulled back, why you've chosen to go silent. But disappearing isn't about running away or avoiding your problems. It's about creating the space you need to grow, to evolve, to become someone you didn't know was possible. When you disappear, you're not hiding from the world, you're hiding from your old self, the one that doubted, the one that wasn't ready. And in that space, you start to heal, to think, to focus on what really matters. It's about focusing on your vision, not the noise around you. It's about understanding that when you pull away from people, you're not being selfish, you're being smart, because only when you let go of the distractions can you truly focus on becoming the person you need to be. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it starts the moment you decide to make a change. People are going to try to hold you to who you were in 2024, but you've got to shake that off. You're not that person anymore. You've outgrown the excuses. You've outgrown the hesitation. You've outgrown the fear of failing. You've got dreams that nobody else can see, and that's okay. Not everyone will get it, but that's the beauty of it. The moment you stop caring about what people think is the moment you step into your real power. There's a whole world of possibilities waiting for you, but it starts with that first step, the step where you say, I'm done with the old me. You've been too comfortable in the comfort zone for too long. Now it's time to step into discomfort. The discomfort of change, the discomfort of letting go of people who don't serve you, the discomfort of doing the work even when no one's watching. But here's the thing, change is going to feel like walking into a storm, but once you come out on the other side, you'll realize the storm was never meant to hurt you. It was meant to shape you. You want to transform, right? You want to disappear from the old version of yourself, the one who didn't know their worth, the one who let fear control their decisions. But how do you do it? You start by taking a good hard look at who you've been. You take a deep dive into your habits, your mindset, your daily routine. Are you living in alignment with the person you want to be? Or are you just existing, going through the motions? Transformation happens when you're willing to be honest with yourself. It's about confronting the uncomfortable truths, the ones you've been avoiding, the lies you've been telling yourself, the reasons why you haven't taken the leap into greatness yet. Ask yourself why you haven't made the move to start that business. Ask yourself why you've allowed toxic relationships to linger. Ask yourself why you're still making excuses. Once you do that, once you face the truth head on, that's when the transformation starts. You don't transform by staying the same. You transform by shaking things up, by making bold decisions, by stepping into the unknown and choosing to rise above the challenges. If you want to disappear from your old life and step into a new reality, it's going to take discipline. You've got to be disciplined in your actions, in your thoughts, in your focus. Discipline is the key to transformation. It's what will separate you from the people who are just talking about change, from the people who are actually living it. Every day, you have to choose the hard right over the easy wrong. Every day, you've got to choose the work over the comfort. You want a new life, you've got to earn it. And earning it means putting in the hours when no one's watching, when it's easy to quit, when it feels like you're getting nowhere. But trust me, progress is happening even when you don't see it. You have to trust the process. Every time you show up and do the work, you're getting closer to who you're meant to be. You may not see the results right away, but that doesn't mean you're not making progress. You're planting seeds that will one day grow into something beautiful. And the key to making that happen is discipline. The kind of discipline that wakes up early, that stays late, that sacrifices short-term pleasure for long-term success. That's the kind of discipline that transforms. Transformation is also about learning to detach. Detach from the past, detach from the failures, detach from the things that hold you back. You've got to let go of the things that are keeping you stuck. That's why disappearing is so important, because it gives you the opportunity to detach from everything that no longer serves you. Detach from the relationships that drain you. Detach from the habits that are holding you back. Detach from the mindset that tells you you can't do it. Once you detach, you open yourself up to new possibilities. You allow yourself to grow into the person you're meant to be. Detaching doesn't mean you're running away, it means you're making space for something greater. And when you detach, you create room for the new version of yourself to emerge. Over you. That's how transformation happens. It happens when you let go of the things that weigh you down, the things the person you're meant to be. Detaching doesn't mean you're running away, it means you're making space for something greater. And when you detach, you create room for the new version of yourself to emerge. Two over you. That's how transformation happens. It happens when you let go of the things that weigh you down, the things that keep you small, the things that make you doubt your potential. Detachment is freedom, and freedom is what allows you to create the life you've always dreamed of. People often talk about wanting change, but they're not willing to do what it takes to make it happen. You can't transform your life if you're not willing to do the work. You can't disappear from your old self and step into something new if you're not ready to sacrifice. Sacrifice is part of the journey. It's the price you pay for the life you want. You're going to have to sacrifice comfort. You're going to have to sacrifice time. You're going to have to sacrifice relationships that aren't pushing you forward. You may even have to sacrifice your ego. And I'm telling you this because if you want to truly transform, if you want to disappear from the person you used to be and step into the person you were always meant to become, you've got to be willing to give something up. Because nothing worth having comes easy. Nothing worth building is built overnight. Something worth deflecting, something worth redeflecting is built overnight. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes sacrifice. But when you look back, when you see the person you've become, you'll realize it was all worth it. The sacrifices, the hard work, the late nights, the early mornings, they were all worth it for the transformation that's waiting for you. Now, let me remind you that disappearing doesn't mean disappearing from the world. It means disappearing from the distractions. It means disappearing from the people who don't understand your vision. It means disappearing from the negativity, the self-doubt, and the fear. Transformation isn't just about changing your environment. It's about changing your mindset. You want to transform, you've got to start thinking differently. You've got to start seeing the world not for what it is, but for what it can be. Your mind is your most powerful tool. The way you think determines the way you act, and the way you act determines the life you create. If you want to create a new life, you've got to first create a new mindset. You've got to think bigger. You've got to think stronger. You've got to think like someone who's already achieved everything you're working towards. And when you start thinking that way, when you start seeing yourself as the person you want to be, that's when transformation begins. Every day you've got a choice. You can stay the same, you can keep playing small, you can keep hiding behind excuses, or you can decide to transform. You can decide to disappear from the old you, the one who played it safe, the one who was afraid to fail. You can decide to become the person you were always meant to be. And let me tell you, when you make that decision, when you decide to disappear and transform, the world will never be the same. People won't understand. They'll wonder what happened to you. They'll wonder why you're different. But deep down, you'll know that you've made the most important decision of your life. You've decided to become the best version of yourself, and that's the only version of you that matters. But truth is, we all have dreams. We all have visions of what we want our lives to look like. But most people are too afraid to go after them. They're too afraid to step out of the comfort zone and take the risk. They're too afraid to let go of what they know in order to pursue what they've always wanted. And that's why most people stay stuck in their old lives, doing the same things day in and day out, hoping for change without ever making any. If you want to disappear from the life you're currently living, you've got to take that leap. You've got to be willing to leave behind the life that no longer serves you. This doesn't mean you're abandoning your responsibilities or forgetting the people who've been there for you. It means you're stepping into something greater, something that requires you to give more than you've given before. You have to be ready to give up the familiar for the unknown. You have to be ready to trust yourself more than you've ever trusted anyone or anything else. You have to believe that what you're stepping into is better than where you've been. And when you take that step, the world will open up to you in ways you've never imagined. The truth about transformation is that it's not always going to feel good. In fact, it's probably going to feel uncomfortable, maybe even painful. You're going to have to break old habits, make new decisions, and confront the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. It's like shedding your skin, like a snake becoming something completely different. The process might feel like it's taking longer than you want, but understand that it's necessary. The more uncomfortable it feels, the more it means you're on the right path. You see, growth doesn't happen when you're comfortable. Growth happens when you push yourself to your limits. When you step out of your own way and challenge the limits you've set for yourself. You've been living a certain way for so long that it's become a part of your identity, and letting go of that old identity isn't easy. But it's the only way to create space for the person you're becoming. Trust the discomfort. Trust the process. Because it's through the struggle that you'll find your strength, your resilience, and your true potential. If you want to transform, you have to make the decision every single day. You can't just decide. Everything else is just a lesson on the way to your success. And speaking of success, let's redefine what that means in 2025. Too often, we measure success by external markers, money, titles, possessions, the approval of others. But true success is so much deeper than that. It's about living in alignment with your purpose. It's about waking up with a sense of fulfillment, knowing that you're doing the work you were meant to do. It's about feeling whole, at peace, and proud of the person you're becoming. So ask yourself, what does success look like for me? Not for your parents, not for your friends, not for society, but for you. Get clear on that vision, and then chase it with everything you've got. Because in 2025, you're not living anyone else's dream. You're living your own. Now, let's address the distractions. Oh, they'll come. The world is full of shiny objects designed to pull you away from your path. Social media, gossip, toxic relationships, endless scrolling, they all eat away at your time, your energy, and your focus. But in 2025, you're going to guard your focus like a hawk. You're going to be intentional about where you direct your attention. Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. That means setting boundaries with your phone, your time, and yes, even with people. It means learning to say no to the things that don't align with your goals, even when it's uncomfortable. It means creating a daily routine that supports your growth and sticking to it no matter what. Because discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to be. And let's not forget about gratitude. In the pursuit of self-focus, it's easy to get caught up in what you don't have, what you haven't achieved, what's still missing. But gratitude shifts your perspective. It reminds you of how far you've come, of the blessings you already have, and of the strength that's carried you through every challenge so far. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It's the fuel that powers your journey, the anchor that keeps you steady in the storms. So every day in 2025, take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for. Write it down, say it out loud, or simply hold it in your heart. Let gratitude be your compass, guiding you toward a life of abundance and joy. And as you walk this path of self-focus, remember this: you are not alone. While the journey is deeply personal, there are others walking their own paths, fighting their own battles, and striving for their own growth. I respect their journeys as you respect your own. Support the ones who align with your vision, and release those who don't with love and grace. Not everyone is meant to walk with you to the finish line. And that's okay. Some people are chapters, not the whole story. But above all, trust yourself. Trust that you have everything you need within you to succeed. Trust that your intuition will guide you, that your strength will sustain you, and that your faith will carry you. Because focusing on yourself doesn't mean you're in it alone. It means you're in alignment with the source of your strength, your purpose, and your power. This year, it's all about becoming stronger, becoming wiser, becoming more resilient, more disciplined, more at peace. It's about shedding the layers of doubt, fear, and insecurity that have held you back and stepping into the fullness of who you were created to be. You don't need permission to focus on yourself. You don't need approval. All you need is the courage to start. So start now. Start today. Start where you are, with what you have. And watch as 2025 becomes the year you've been waiting for, the year you stop waiting and start creating. As you step into this season of self-focus, let's address one of the most challenging aspects of this journey: letting go. Letting go of what no longer serves you. Letting go of the path that you've been holding on to so tightly. Letting go of the people who cannot come with you into this next chapter of your life. Letting go isn't easy. It's not supposed to be. The habits, the relationships, the environments that have become familiar to you, they feel like a safety net. Even when they're toxic, even when they're holding you back. There's comfort in what's familiar. But growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens in the spaces where you're willing to release the old to make room for the new. In 2025, make peace with the idea that not everything and everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some people, some experiences are lessons. They come into your life to teach you something, to shape you, to prepare you for what's next. But holding on to them after their purpose has been served will only weigh you down. This year, you'll need to master the art of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop clinging. It means you trust that what's meant for you will stay, and what's not will leave, to make space for better. It means understanding that your worth is not tied to the things or people you've lost, but to the strength you've gained from letting them go. Because focusing on yourself doesn't mean you're in it alone. It means you're in alignment with the source of your strength, your purpose, and your power. This year, it's all about becoming stronger, becoming wiser, becoming more resilient, more disciplined, more at peace. It's about shedding the layers of doubt, fear, and insecurity that have held you back and stepping into the fullness of who you were created to be. You don't need permission to focus on yourself. You don't need approval. All you need is the courage to start. So start now. Start today. Start where you are, with what you have. And watch as 2025 becomes the year you've been waiting for, the year you stop waiting and start creating. As you step into this season of self-focus, let's address one of the most challenging aspects of this journey: letting go. Letting go of what no longer serves you. Letting go of the path that you've been holding on to so tightly. Letting go of the people who cannot come with you into this next chapter of your life. Letting go isn't easy. It's not supposed to be. The habits, the relationships, the environments that have become familiar to you, they feel like a safety net. Even when they're toxic, even when they're holding you back, there's comfort in what's familiar. But growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens in the spaces where you're willing to release the old to make room for the new. In 2025, make peace with the idea that not everything and everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some people, some experiences are lessons. They come into your life to teach you something, to shape you, prepare you for what's next. But holding on to them after their purpose has been served will only weigh you down. So this year, you'll need to master the art of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop clinging. It means you trust that what's meant for you will stay, and what's not will leave to make space for better. It means understanding that your worth is not tied to the things or people you've lost, but to the strength you've gained from letting them go. You might feel lonely at times. As part of the process, when you start focusing on yourself, the crowd around you thins. Some people won't understand your journey. They'll criticize your choices, misunderstand your intentions, and question your priorities. Let them. Their opinions are not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to yourself, to your growth, and to your peace. Embrace the solitude, because it's in the quiet moments that you'll find clarity. It's in the stillness that you'll hear the voice of your intuition guiding you. Solitude is not loneliness, it's an opportunity to reconnect with your inner self. It's where you rediscover your passions, your dreams, and your power. And as you let go of the external distractions, you'll start to notice something incredible. Your inner world begins to flourish. The energy you once gave to everyone else will now be channeled into building yourself up. The time you once spent worrying about others' opinions will now be invested in creating the life you deserve. In this process, you'll discover the beauty of self-love. Real self-love is not about affirmations or indulgences, about treating yourself with the same respect, kindness, and care that you give to others. It's about setting standards for how you'll be treated and not settling for less. It's about forgiving yourself for past mistakes and recognizing that your worth is not diminished by your failures. When you truly love yourself, you stop chasing people who don't value you. You stop seeking validation from those who can't see your worth. You stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. Instead, you shine unapologetically, knowing that the right people will be drawn to your authenticity. Focusing on yourself also means embracing your individuality. You are not here to be a copy of someone else. You are not here to fit into a mold that society has created for you. You are here to be uniquely, unapologetically you. So stop comparing your journey to others. Stop measuring your progress against someone else's timeline. Your path is your own, and it's unfolding exactly as it should. As you walk this path, don't underestimate the power of consistency. Big dreams are built on small, consistent actions. It's not about grand gestures or overnight success, it's about showing up for yourself every single day. It's about making the choice, again and again, to prioritize your growth, your goals, and your happiness. Consistency requires discipline, and discipline requires a deep commitment to your vision. There will be days when you don't feel motivated, when the progress feels slow, when the doubts creep in. But those are the days that matter most. Those are the days when discipline will carry you through. Remember this: the habits you build in 2025 will shape the person you become in the years to come. So, choose habits that align with the future you want to create. Choose habits that nurture your mind, your body, and your soul. Choose habits that reflect the respect you have for yourself and the life you're building. Yeah? And while you're building, don't forget to celebrate your wins big and small. Celebrate the progress, even if it feels insignificant. Celebrate the fact that you're showing up for yourself.